Hey guys, it's Matt Higgins. In today's video, I want to go over just a few short things. I want to talk about Snoke a little bit. I want to talk about some of the news that's just come out in the past day. It's all very exciting stuff. So with that, let's get into it. So before we get to our main topic of Snoke here, I want to talk about the new reveal of another trilogy coming out. If you guys haven't heard, Rian Johnson has been signed to write and direct a new Star Wars trilogy that apparently is going to take us to a place in the galaxy that we've never been to before. I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. I know a lot of people have been wanting a Knights of the Old Republic type of movie series for a while now. I'm not super sure, but at least it seems to me like the most likely. It could be something else, though. I know Disney is pretty creative in terms of, the new Lucasfilm in terms of how they tell their stories, essentially. So, but I'm very excited for it. Obviously, Rian Johnson is a huge prequels fan, so I've said that again like 5,000 times, but I'll say it again every time. I think we can expect a lot from him in terms of connecting these new movies to the prequel trilogy. So they also announced that there's going to be a live-action TV series. We assume that it's going to be on Disney's new streaming service that'll be starting here in 2019. Interested to see what that's about. I'm sure that if the trilogy isn't about Knights of the Old Republic, then probably the TV series will be. If the other possibilities, I know people think about Knights of the Old Republic, maybe it could be sometime in between there, maybe, well before the events of the Phantom Menace, but well after the rise of the Republic and the defeat of the Sith, and stuff like that. I don't know, just pure speculation at this point. So they didn't give us any information on anything except for the fact that there's going to be new characters and that this is going to explore a new era. This will not be part of the Skywalker saga, just FYI. So in case you were concerned that this is going to continue on and on, they're moving away from that now. So in other news, we are actually a week away from the full release of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I know it's already come out for folks who have EA access. I do not. I don't think it's going to be worth it for me to get EA access just to play it for a few days, because I'm pretty swamped with school right now. But I will be playing it when it comes out, and I will have some more gameplay videos for you guys. Saw some gameplay of Kashyyyk, and Kashyyyk looks awesome. Really excited for that. I also really want to play the campaign. I have been reading the Inferno Squad book, and I want to see how that ties in, as well as any possible prequel references, of course, that we see in the campaign for the game. So moving on to today's topic, I want to talk a little bit about Snoke. Now, what I want to do is see where we can find possible connections to the prequels with Snoke. I think there are some. Obviously, he's old enough. The main point that I'm going to bring up is the one line that they confirmed that he is old enough to have seen the Galactic Empire rise and fall. So obviously he was around for Order 66. To what extent he was aware of what was going on at the time, I'm not sure. Pretty sure he was aware. I don't imagine a man of his power getting into his position without being aware of previous events. But I don't know if he had a direct hand in those events. Maybe he did. Maybe he was influencing Sidious. I don't know. After The Force Awakens came out, I jumped on the bandwagon of Snoke being Plagueis because I thought the theory was really well fleshed out. And I think it was so well fleshed out that Pablo Hidalgo had to come on Twitter and literally say, no, this isn't the case. So I was a little bit disappointed when I found that out, but it adds to the mystery of the character. So one thing I have noticed here too is that we don't have a confirmed race that's Snoke for Snoke. We don't know what Snoke is. Looking at the pictures from The Last Jedi, he looks like to me looks like a human. Obviously, he looks like he's been through some stuff. The only thing that says to me that he's not human is his extraordinarily long neck. It looks quite unnatural. But then again, so is the dark side. But his face looks very human-like. And a lot of people were talking about like how he's been healing and stuff. So I don't know if that's like actually because he's healing or if that's because they had to turn him into a physical character for the set. And obviously they can't, punch a hole in the side of someone's cheek, So going back to Snoke's connection to the events of the Star Wars galaxy, I think that for someone who is as Force sensitive as he is, or at least we're led to believe, there's no way that he could have not been noticed, I feel, because Force users can detect other Force users. They don't have to be near them. Obviously, as we've seen with Vader and Luke and Anakin and Count Dooku, they don't have to be very close to each other. Especially for someone who's that powerful, I feel like even the weakest of Force users could probably detect something. I'm sure Sidious probably at least had some preemptive knowledge that he existed somewhere. Maybe he didn't know who he was or what he was. Maybe that's why Sidious sent people into the unknown regions, was because he felt the presence of Snoke out there and wanted to figure out where it was coming from. I think that's a pretty interesting topic that they're going to have to explore. I don't think it's going to be for a while. Maybe not even until after this new sequel trilogy has finished, but I really don't believe that there's any way Snoke could have stayed entirely hidden from the Jedi Order or Palpatine. I know some people have thought about Snoke being a new character, and I really think they are going that direction. I think tying some character into another pre-existing character is kind of, I don't know, it would seem a little bit overdone. So I really like this idea of Snoke being a new character. I just don't want... he needs to have a backstory and still needs to have connection to the main 6 saga films. So he can't just be like some random out-of-the-blue dark side user that just appeared out of nowhere. He has to be somewhere or in some way involved in the events of the main saga films. To wrap things up, like I said, again, I'm very excited for this movie. I really think that we are going to see some more prequel references. I know I'm kind of sounding like redundant, but I am really, really, really looking forward to this movie. I think it's going to be way more connective than The Force Awakens was, because, like I said, my biggest complaint with The Force Awakens was that there was almost no connection to any of the previous films outside of the legacy characters and the Millennium Falcon. So it kind of felt detached in a way. So I really want to see The Last Jedi come in and re-sew those connections. So, all right, guys. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.